back. Sorry about that. I'm excited about this guest. Maybe I'm here talking about Traditional Satanism, Theistic Satanism, Qliphoth Sorcery, and Thelema, possibly. Yeah, so now we wait for our guests to pop in. I'm excited about this one, though. It's going to be awesome. I don't think he can stay quite as long as some of the other ones have been, but that's understandable. We've been trying to get this one planned for a while now. It's just because his time zone's a little different. It's been kind of hard for us to get our times right, but now we got it, and I'm excited. Alright, here we go. I think I'm adding you to the call. We are in business. Sweetness. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool.
I've had to go on my phone. I don't know what my laptop's doing at the moment. It seems to be messing around a bit.
I don't understand. I don't think it's your laptop. I've had a couple other people on here who try initially with their laptop, but it won't let them join the video call from their laptop, so they have to get on with their phone. I don't understand that. I don't know why it's like that.
That's no problem. Check volume setting. That's all right. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Kind of just woke up not too long ago, but
Okay.
how are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm good.
That's good. Good to hear. And yeah, man, I would have done this sooner, but the time zones are a little sketchy, a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got it now, so I'm excited about it, dude.
Yeah. And me. Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, glad to have you in the group and part of this all and everything. I guess we could start, like, tell me a little bit, like, about yourself and how you got to where you're at, as far as what you believe, why you believe in it.
So I'm 35 years old. I've been a Satanist for at least 14 years, since 2007, 2008. I've been a part of at least one Theistic Satanist or non-denominational church based in America,
Mm-hmm.
which was the Church of Leviathan, and also the Traditional Church of Satan,
Mm-hmm.
in which I was sorry, my glasses are steaming up. In which I was a Reverend Father and then eventually a deacon or bishop. I stayed there from, I think it was 2013 up to 2017, and then eventually I left because of disagreements with not just myself but with other people in the church.
Mm-hmm. It's understandable.
So, yeah, it weren't a very nice atmosphere, so I left that organization.
Did you live in America for a short time or something?
No, it was through Facebook that
Okay.
I became aware of the Church of Leviathan.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then in 2018, 2017 and 2018, I started down the more sinister tradition path working as a solitary practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. obviously I've been doing that ever since.
Hmm. Well, can I ask, what brought you up in it? Were you brought up in it, like raised in it? Were you, what kind of first piqued your interest in anything occult?
No, my family are actually Catholic, mostly Catholic Christian. I was brought up as an atheist until the age of 23 or 2007, 2008, and then I became interested in Satanism.
Hmm.
I had a guide that introduced me to the Joy of Satan website. That was my first dedication, and my first familiarization with Satanism as a path, or a potential path.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Um, yeah.
Heck yeah. Um, so can I ask, like, your opinions and, like, your beliefs on, are you coming from more of a research standpoint, or do are you an active practitioner in it also? And what do you believe in, as far as, do you believe that Satan, Lucifer, is like a separate force entirely? Do you believe it's or a collective mentally constructed idea almost? Or how do you believe?
Um, I have been active as a practitioner, although my living arrangements now sort of enable me to practice as much as I like,
Hmm.
as I would like. Um, to me, Satan is a entity that actually exists, rather
Hmm.
than just the archetype or deific mask or symbol. So to me,
Hmm.
he's the Lord of the is the Lord of the earth, the um, he's basically everything to me. Um, so yeah, I think I
Now,
personally.
one more thing.
Oh, sorry, pardon.
Um, I I kind of snooped around your YouTube channel some, not gonna lie, and I was watching some of your videos and I liked them. Um, and I watched one where you went, I think it was on your channel or your Facebook, one or the other, where you was talking about how Anton LaVey, in your opinion, wasn't an atheist, right? You
Yeah.
believe. Can you go into that if you want? Maybe touch into that some.
So to me, through my research and personal opinion, Anton Zander LaVey, rather than being an atheist or like LaVeyan, which is what the Church of Satan is nowadays, or was up
Hmm.
to a couple of years ago, a couple of decades ago, I basically think that Anton Zander LaVey was a deist or a theistic Satanist, in that he actually worshipped Satan, rather than there being more gods like Lilith or etc. He believed that, obviously in the deistic sense, that Satan is the one God,
Hmm.
the only God.
Okay. Do you
And
believe that also? Do you
pardon,
believe that there are other
pardon?
entities?
Do I believe there's other entities?
Hmm.
Yes, yes, I think yes. I'm not deistic in my beliefs. I'm more theistic. So yeah, I think there's more. There's definitely more entities out there than just Satan. Especially um, with my experience of the sinister tradition and stuff like that. There is more gods that exist. It's just a matter of tapping into that current.
Hmm. Hmm. True that. Do you believe that, like, we had a podcast just the other day and we kind of touched on it? Do you believe that people have their own individual souls, their own individual imprints? Like, and do you believe that we're all part of a collective, all consciousness?
I believe we all have a soul. I don't know if I believe in like reincarnation, but I definitely believe in that we have more than one. We have more than one time on Earth, but as different, we might be different people, but our soul transcends
Mm-hmm.
through different lifetimes.
And so, what would be like, say, the end goal for someone in your type belief system? Like, what type of goal are you going for? Are you trying to get to? Are you trying to break a cycle? Are you trying to keep your consciousness intact upon death, or anything like of the sort? Or what is like the main driving force behind like the belief? If that makes any sense.
One of my main goals is to become an causal entity rather than stay within the. Most mundane people, they will reincarnate into different husks, basically, or different people, but it'll be on the same. It'll be on this earth. To be in a causal means that you break that cycle and you become an entity that isn't bound to this sphere or this realm. You become one. You become like a force, or yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering your opinion on that because I've talked to a bunch of practitioners and I usually hear two sides. It's like one side, the practitioner is the end goal for them. They're trying to keep their consciousness intact and become a separate entity, like you're saying. And then the other side, they want to either merge back in with just the all and become one with everything again, or something else. Like, I guess that's the only two I really hear about is breaking the cycle or not breaking the cycle.
I'd definitely be in the opinion of breaking the cycle rather than coming back here.
Yeah.
I mean, because I have some beliefs that lean on the voidism type as well. In that I don't want to come here. I'd rather be somewhere else. Where that is, I'm not sure, but from a practitioner point of view, I have been doing certain workings within that paradigm or pantheon to transcend in this realm, to become an causal.
Do you dabble around in like mantra creating, sigil crafting, stuff like that also?
I have worked a little with sigils. I'm not going to lie. I'm not the best in the knowledge when it comes to sigils. It's not something I've worked or I'm overly familiar with, but I have drew many different sigils over the years, and because obviously, go on.
Your way of practice, and I know a lot of people it's personal or secret, which is understandable. If you don't want to answer, that's cool. But a rough example of like when you would go to practition something in your belief, like what would that entail? Is it a lot of ceremonial aspects added into it? Is it like intuitive, like you intuitively feel it out and go from there, or do you follow a strict set of things?
It depends on the pantheon or current you're talking about, because I work with several different things, but I'd definitely say I mean, the sinister tradition or sinister path, the sinister being the left path, or that of the ONA, you have to work within a sect. I mean, the rituals are available in the different books or MSS that are available, but there's definitely ritual aspect involved. My personal view of ceremonial is where there's obviously more than one person. Most of my workings have been solitary.
Yeah. Understandable. And so just throw out a couple, if you can think of any off the top of your head, some books you've been into lately, or that you'd recommend people to look into to learn more about what you believe in.
Okay. Just having to think of what books I recommend. I mean, if you're interested in the Order of the Nine Angles or ONA, I'd personally recommend the Sinister Tradition, the Sinister Way, which is 2 separate books. And obviously Naos, which is the modern. See, that's got a long title, and I can't always remember what it is. Naos, which is the modern book of magical. Wait a minute. I'm gonna have to get it. I'm trying to see what it says. Right, a practical guide to modern magic, Naos, which is by the Order of Nine Angles. It's usually available on Amazon or Lulu.
I think the PDF was shared in the group just yesterday.
Okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely. Sorry, go on.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just saying, me and another talking about it.
I definitely recommend that, along with Hostia. My only concern with those books is that obviously because the ONA is under scrutiny from law enforcement, might be harder to get hold of those books in eventually. So I would recommend getting them while you can.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the books are getting taken off or getting out of publication or taken out of publication. They're no longer being published, which has been my personal experience trying to get hold of the books.
Yeah, true that. People should buy them up while they can. Heck yeah. I don't know if you said or not. You may have, but I must have missed it. How long would you say you've been practicing?
I haven't been a practitioner as long as I've been a Satanist, because I think my study and research in Satanism was about 5 years. I self-taught. I taught myself. I was only with a guide for about a year, and then we stopped contact. But I'd say something like 6 or 7 years.
Oh wow.
I've been practicing, but then I stopped. I think it was about. I'd probably say about 2 years ago. Yeah, because my family are Catholic, I'm not really supposed to practice those sort of things in the house.
That's understandable.
practicing in secret or when
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
can.
You'd be
But,
surprised how many people do that. They got to do that, you know.
yeah,
And it's wild. And not necessarily because of the threat of prosecution, like actual prosecution, but the threat of prosecution and judgment and all kinds of different, you know, it's um, it's wild. But you'd say you definitely have a wide variety of interests. You know, you look into a lot of stuff.
yeah.
How would you
Uh,
how do you feel about like Wicca or Thelema or stuff like that?
I'm more experienced with Thelema than I
Mm-hmm.
am with Wicca, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Wicca wasn't something I really looked into,
Mm-hmm.
although I am familiar with like Gardner, Joe Gardner,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
and that sort of Wicca. But
I'll say Wicca because I know it's actually kind of big over there, isn't it? Like relatively
yeah,
big.
yeah, because of Joe Gardner,
Mm-hmm.
for one, and but also Crowley as well was had
Mm-hmm.
some leanings in with Wicca. He some people st- people some people of the opinion that he in a way started Wicca
Mm-hmm.
on the line of Gerald Gardner and his eventual working on that path, and or even the covenants that he supposedly was a member of.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So what pulled your interest into that? Just um because Satanism is kind of like a broad umbrella term, and it just kind of
Yeah.
incorporates a lot of stuff.
Just my overall interest in witchcraft, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'd say I'm rather eclectic, really, in my beliefs or interests, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't really stick to one pantheon or current.
Mm-hmm. It's understandable. I'm kind of the same way, you know. It don't matter how much you look, there's always going to be more information out there, more
Yeah,
stuff to learn, you
yeah,
know. Um, and so I feel if someone stays in one area, they're kind of boxing themselves in um, and losing that potential that they could be learning all kinds of new awesome stuff. So
yeah,
I guess I go by the term chaos magician. I know it sounds lame and cliche, but I say that as because of an umbrella term. You know, it covers a wide
yeah.
variety of things. But,
I mean, some people even see Thelema as like a chaos path, chaos
mm,
current. So it's
yeah.
all a matter of opinion, really, whether you see it as being chaotic or yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah. You
I
gotta
mean, I
watch
did.
the show.
Sorry, go on. Go on.
There's a show, real quick, man. It's called Strange Angel. It's on Amazon Prime Plus Video or whatever, and it's on Paramount Pictures. It is like the best occult show I've ever watched. There's some other good ones out there, man, but Hollywood has made them too fantastical. They're too edited, special effects. You know, it's just it takes away from what it's really like. But this show nails it on its head, man, because it's so legit. They don't exaggerate anything. You know, they make it so real, and it's so entertaining. It's a super high quality show too.
Okay, and that's Strange Angel.
Yeah, it's called Strange Angel. It's really good. Yeah,
And
it's
that's
pretty.
on Amazon. That's on Amazon
Yeah,
Prime.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a TV show. There's 2 seasons to it right now, but it's very good.
Are you familiar with Netflix?
Mhm. Yep.
Um, have you watched a program called The Order?
I watched.
It's not
Wait,
really
it's one.
not a program, but it's a series on Netflix, I think,
I
called
think
The
it
Order.
is the one, the Hermetic Order of the Blue Rose. Is that it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
think
I watched that one. That one's good too, but they add it too magical, with the special effects and
yeah,
everything. It's a good show, but see, Strange Angel, man, it's so like how it is and how it would be, and it's still very entertaining with no special effects. It's real,
yeah.
and it's great. I watched that show. I do like that show a lot. I never did get to finish it because I ended up starting something else. But yeah, that was a pretty good show from what I did watch of it.
Okay. Would you say programs like The Order then are more Hollywood than they are actual, like realistic to what we practice?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely, man. All right, because the Order, that show, they make it really. Some of it's awesome, but a lot of the
yeah,
magic and stuff that happens isn't that legit. In Strange Angel, the magic that happens in it is real, and it's like
yeah,
it's a subtle magic, but it's very effective and it's very yeah, it's effective and I love the way they make it, because that's how it is in real life, It's not necessarily something like something impossible, fantastical in a way, where like lightning bolts are gonna come out your hand, whatever, It's more of like in a way you're attracting it, but yet you are manifesting it. You're willing it into existence, and I love the way they do it, man. But yeah, they nail it on its head on how it is and stuff, and especially how orders practice together in a ceremonial type setting, and how they focus energy together. And it's really wild. They even touch into tantric sex magic and practices and stuff too, and like it's it's a great show. For it to be like for entertainment and not like a documentary, it's really accurate in how they portray everything.
I think the problem with um, a lot of modern programs that portray witchcraft or even the occult are too Hollywood in their
Hmm.
effects, and they are it's just too fantastical. It's like
Hmm.
Harry Potter. It's like Harry Potter.
Hmm.
Very very like almost fake
Hmm.
compared to compared to the world that we know.
I love it though, especially Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter, especially when you see all the
I yeah,
symbolism that's added into it, because they do incorporate some real things, but um, yeah, man. But it's all perspective and how people see it and view it and stuff.
yeah,
And just because they say, oh, they make it real fantastical and not very realistic, just because I haven't seen stuff like that doesn't mean it's not
yeah,
real,
yeah,
so that's a
yeah,
biased judgment for me to say it's not very real because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a lot of things myself, so I can't say anything. Doubt everything, but deny nothing until I've seen it or done it or researched it myself. And even then, you don't know. It could be an illusion.
yeah,
So that's why, man, I don't want to stick to one thing necessarily. I don't want to close myself in a box. I want to stay open. I want to be able to meet new people, hear their experiences, hear why they believe it, everything like that. Because you can't just put yourself in a box, and it limits your possible, your potential.
definitely. I would totally agree with that because I'm the similar I am a similar sort of outlaw. and that I don't try and limit myself to one particular box. I'm eclectic, and I take what resonates with me at that time.
And it was like, when we was coming up with this logo for this page, I didn't want anything to have a symbol that was associated with any specific one path or one belief, you know? Like,
Yeah.
one member mentioned, hey, let's put the Lucifer sigil in there. Okay, I don't mind the Lucifer sigil whatsoever. It's cool. The only reason I didn't want it in there is because it has a lot of stigma behind it, you know, and a bad reputation just because of, oh, it's Lucifer sigil. You know how Hollywood and mainstream media has made its reputation bad. So I didn't want people to look at this, the main logo of our page, and see that and be turned away and think, oh, it's just Lucifer, you know, closed-minded type, you know.
Yeah.
That's just the stigma that's kind of behind it in a way. And so I kind of want to, even the Dharma wheel that's in the logo, man, I kind of want to take that out, because I just want, I don't want no symbolism to be associated with one direct belief or religion, you know?
Yeah.
I want people
Yeah.
to believe it's open. And yeah, I want to be able to interview all kinds of people, you know, from all walks. Um, I have a scientist that might even be on here. He does a lot of work in the University of Michigan in their biochemistry lab and stuff. He does a lot of cool stuff. I'm hoping to get him on here. Even stuff like that, you know. And he's a practitioner in his own way, you know. But I want to get people from everywhere, any belief, have them on here, express why they believe in what they believe in, because it's awesome. And a lot of times you get to feel who they are, and you know, you can see that they're excited and they're enthusiastic to talk about it and stuff. And yeah, man, I like it a lot. So it's a lot of times it's personal. So to get people on here to talk about their personal experiences and beliefs, I know that's hard, but it's awesome when it happens, you know.
Yeah. Definitely.
But, yeah, and like I don't want to like one person come on and that's it. This last time, like if you want to come back on another time too, and we'll talk about other stuff too, we can do that, because I have another member. We talked about all kinds of stuff, mostly Enochian magic and language and stuff like that. But next time we might be talking about cryptids, extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings. We were talking about that, and how our next podcast together is going to be kind of around extraterrestrials and interdimensional beings and cryptids, you know, like monsters and stuff like that. So that could be kind of cool. That would be neat. um, just talking about anything and everything. You know, that's occult related, because that's paranormal. You know, and yeah, I'm excited about this.
Definitely. I mean, if you want, we can talk about Lovecraft or the Lovecraftian current.
I need to do
Or
more research myself into that. Yeah. I read one book a long time ago. It was like somebody's version of the Necronomicon. I know it wasn't the real thing, but it was somebody's version of it. I
oh,
can't
cool.
remember which version I had though. Um, but yeah, it was pretty neat. Um, definitely, that's definitely some chaos magic right there.
Yeah, definitely. And I quite like his books as well. I like a lot of his books because they're not just horror. There are a lot of entities in there that are very powerful. I mean, Cthulhu or Nephali. Oh, I can't. I'm going to butcher his name. Nyarlathotep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard a couple of the monsters, you know, and watched some things and read some things, and it's crazy because that's how you'd picture some wild, chaotic, void entity, you know, like so
Yeah.
complex, so indescribable that it would literally drive you insane just to look at it, you know, and like I can see that.
Yeah, his work's quite fascinating, really.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, I'll have to do some more research and we could go into that. I'm sure you're probably very familiar with his work, though.
What, sorry?
I'm sure you're probably very familiar with his work.
Um, I was quite familiar with it at one point, but my mind goes a bit
Mhm.
downhill with my medication and stuff. But
Mhm.
I will definitely have a look into it, have a more detailed look into his work, and we can discuss that if it's something you want to discuss.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That's a
Yeah.
that's a popular topic too, for real. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm down. That'd be absolutely amazing. Um, Tomorrow we got somebody else coming on here talking about their Luciferianism, some
Oh
sex
yeah.
magic, a couple other things.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds
And then I
quite
got a
cool.
couple other people. I haven't. It's not set yet, but they're talking about coming on. I got one guy. He's um into Reiki. I think that's how you say it. And then like
Oh, Ray.
yeah, like crystal healing and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
he might
yeah.
be on, and I got a couple other people. Yeah,
Oh, wicked.
yeah, man.
That sounds quite good. Quite good.
If you know any like awesome occultists that want to come on and talk to, that'd be awesome. And like, we're not big right now, but my plan is in the future when we are big, people will be excited to come on here just to get a little bit of like promotion too, They'll be able to shout their stuff out. You could do that too right now if you want. I know we only got like 70 some people anyway, but it can be repurposed and put on YouTube or any platform really. And so if you want to shout out like your YouTube page and stuff like that, I can also link your links and stuff too wherever. Um, yeah, because I
Uh,
was looking through your channel and you got several on there. I want to go through and like watch the whole thing, but yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that at some point soon.
oh, cool. I'll definitely support your channel, and I'll put it out to people.
Yeah, I'll do the same for you. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, and like I said, right now it probably won't be that big of a difference if I shared your stuff. We're not that big right now, but in the future, little by little, you gotta build that foundation.
Yeah.
You know, Once people see, oh wow, he's actually getting a lot of people to go on here and do this, then they might. I got like next week is almost completely booked if I can actually get the people to agree to schedule because we're all talking about it and stuff. And if so, I got like 5 people, so that's 5 more interviews. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Sounds quite good.
The last person, he's like, "Is there a time limit? I can talk." I was like, "Nope, talk for as long as you want." And we was talking for almost 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I uploaded the video to YouTube and it was 4 hours almost. I was like, oh man, that was a good talk though. Yeah, yeah, I don't mind doing that stuff either. So, what do you feel about like enchanted food or blessing your food or food with intent? I've heard people talk. People do magic for everything in their lives: beauty, relationship, money, work, health, you name it. Not a lot of people do anything with food. Not a lot of people think about it. But, some people do. Some people will bless where they have their food. They'll have a whole little ritual and everything or whatever, or a simple little prayer before they put their food away, or when they eat it, or before they consume something, they give an intent behind it. Like, this will heal me, this is healthy for me, whatever. And they will eat it and they will consume it, and it turns it into like a spiritual sustenance also, kind of like a communion, kind of like the wine and the bread or cakes of light, with Crowley. How do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
I haven't personally done that, but I have heard of people doing things like blessing water and filling their water with intent and different 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 things like that. And I've heard people blessing moon water, things like moon water, drinking moon water as well, where they put a bottle of water in under the moon, and then they'll drink it, and it's supposed to fill it with properties or something or other. So I think that's definitely possible.
Have you heard of like Crowley's like the cakes of light, when he would make his cakes of light for his like rituals and stuff? Like people like practitioners would use like different types of herbs or even some psychedelic containing plants, psychedelic alkaloids with the cakes of light. Crowley, he used to use like blood, semen, a lot of controversial things supposedly in his cakes of light, and turn these little cakes into spiritual sustenance. And like you can use it with like communing with entities. It's like consuming the entity's essence, whatever. You can use it with a bunch of different. You can incorporate it into a lot of different practices.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on that? Yeah.
Pardon? Sorry, I was talking over you then. Sorry.
What's your thoughts on that? Like, because I heard like he especially put like blood, like semen, even period blood. I hear from like a virgin in his cakes of light, and they would consume this.
Okay. I weren't familiar with that, but I am now. Cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. I heard him doing all kinds of crazy stuff with those little breads, those little cakes, man.
Yeah.
All kinds of ingredients.
Like hashish cake.
Yep. Datura too.
Yeah.
Scopolamine lace. Belladonna. That's how you say it.
I actually did a video on that yesterday.
On what?
On the plant, Datura.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on my YouTube.
I'm gonna check that out. Have you tried it? Oh.
I haven't tried it, but I'm gonna ask someone if they can send me some.
All right. That's
If it'll
cool.
get through customs, I don't know. Because obviously we have quite a stringent customs here. So I don't know if it'll get through. If it does, it's a bonus. And I'll tell you what, I'll do a video on me. I'm gonna try it.
Man. Really? Hey, I might sponsor this if you do a video.
Yeah, I'll have to be very careful how much I take of it though.
Yeah, man. Scopolamine, you'll die easy on that, especially if it's concentrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've extracted a lot of the scopolamine in my day in laboratory settings. You can get it from Jimson weed also, or devil's trumpet,
That's what it's called here, apparently. That's
Really?
one of the names for it. Yeah, devil's trumpet, Jimson reed, and thorn apple. And How's Bowers is another one, which is quite funny. Reminds me of AC/DC or something like that, or the band. Yeah.
Yeah, it's relatively easy to extract, and then you just have to refine what you extract down, refine it down to like a really pure powder. And
Well, I've heard that you're supposed to, or some people wilt it down as a tea into a tea.
You can do that.
Yeah.
It will still have a lot of the plant properties, a lot of plant fats, a lot of plant matter still in it. which is probably safer to take it that way for real because it's diluted in a way. If you have it to a point where it's so refined to it's so pure, it can kill you easily. All you need is like a couple micrograms, maybe like under 30 milligrams, so like 0.1 or 0.2,
Okay.
0.1 or 0.2 grams would be enough to kill you probably, of really refined scopolamine. But a little bit less than that, if you blow it in somebody's face, you could zombify them. You could tell them to do anything, and they will consciously do it, but not remember it the next day.
God.
You can, it's mind control, literally. You can do that. I have some scopolamine, actually, some extracted, really refined scopolamine. Yeah. It's old, but yeah.
Sounds quite interesting.
Yeah, dude, I used to have a chemical grant license. I could get any toxin, any poison, any chemical, any research chemical on the planet legally sent to me for research purposes. Yeah, it was awesome.
Good. That sounds quite interesting.
Yeah.
That's quite funny, really.
Yeah, man, if you do it, that's gonna be awesome. See, yeah.
I'm already getting send me some stuff for my ONA rituals, which is like Petrioca, the incense that I was talking about on my YouTube. They're going to send me some of that, hopefully, and I'm going to get some other incense apparently sent to me as well, rare incense, as part of my workings.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool. Oh yeah. Is it like controlled or something? Is that why it's rare, or is it just?
it's just not very easy, not,
Mhm.
not overly heard of, especially the Petrioca.
It don't sound familiar to me.
No, no, it's mentioned in oh God, what is it? One of the books of the Order of Nine Angles mentions it because it's to do with Saturn.
Oh wow, I love Saturn. I really
Yeah,
did. I even got a tattoo. And that was the very first name of this group chat was the Temple of Saturn.
Temple of Saturn.
Yeah,
Okay, that's quite nice.
yeah. And then the only reason the group chat name changed was because Saturn was too it was too pointed at one specific thing. And so not
Yeah,
everybody likes Saturn, whatever, so we made it more open, you know.
yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, yeah, Saturn's open. There's this documentary on YouTube. It's called I think Saturn, Satan, and the Nature of Reality. And that shit's awesome. There's like 3 parts to it, and each one's like 3 hours long. They're long, but they're really good.
You'll have to link me with that one because I haven't seen that, and that sounds quite good.
Yeah, it is. There's 3 parts. Like I said, they're all 3 of them are like 3 hours long, but
Yeah,
they're really good. Like watch one a day or something, you know. And they're great. But I'll link it to you. Yep.
link it through my message, through my messenger.
Yeah, I can do that.
Or
Sure thing. Yeah, man. And if you ever stumble upon some really awesome, informative documentaries or anything or PDFs, feel free to link them or send them in the group or personal message,
oh,
anything like
definitely, yeah.
that. And like I said, when I have some more time, I'm gonna go through your YouTube channel and watch more videos because the ones I did watch, I liked it, and I wanna watch more of them. Sorry,
That's all right.
I just found it. I'm about to share it. All right, cool deal. I sent it to you, so whenever you got time. It was pretty interesting for sure. It was neat. Kind of
Cheers.
got me diving into Saturn and stuff. Um,
Cool.
yeah, yeah. Right now, I guess I'm kind of taking on the Qliphoth currents, but in like a chaos type way. I'm keeping some things set, some ceremonial things, like I keep it how it's laid out. Some people have told me if you're working the path working format, do not divert from the instructions whatsoever, which is understandable to an extent, but magic is personal, and you're supposed to make it personal to you, or you're not really doing it. It's more like you're following a choreographed, for aesthetics or whatever. Unless you feel it, you're connected with it, and it's personal with you. I don't feel like you're doing that great of magic. So when you're working the path working format, it should be alright to incorporate some things personal to you into it to make it more connected with you, don't you think? Or how would you feel on something like that?
Well, I've always tried to make my own rituals rather than follow from a book. I mean, the only things I've copied were the sigils from like Michael W. Ford. Um, everything else has been on my own sort of.
See?
So
Made it personal. I
yeah,
agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah. Alright, cool. That's cool. Um, because yeah, to me, I feel like the more personal you make it and the more intuitively, you and you feel it and it's just like it's there. I don't know, it's more powerful, more magical than it,
yeah.
just following a set thing. But yeah, I feel like I'm taking on the Qliphoth currents in a chaos way, but I'm incorporating my own style, my own feel to it, my own connection with it. I'm developing that with it, and then going through each sphere, learning what I can learn, and I have it set up in such a way where each entity that I interact with or I work with will get their own individual spirit box, right? Or divot box or whatever. And so anytime I want to come back and work with this entity, I can come in here, get their ritual items, their tools, and it goes in the closet otherwise. And like I really like these pillar candles, dude. Like they're big. I have
Yeah,
a couple of them now, but because they burn for weeks depending on how much you use them. And
yeah.
so each entity I work with gets a pillar candle. And like, dude, they burn for about as long as you need. You're working with them however long you're gonna work, and depending on how often you're lighting it and you're using it. And so each entity I work with in the Qliphoth, they're gonna get their own pillar candle, they're gonna get their own sigil, they're gonna get their own framed image portrait, and so, no matter what, even after I'm done with it, if I want to come back and rework it in a different way or longer, I got their stuff. And it's also like a collection, and like, yeah. And, it goes in my Book of Shadows. I even want to get individual books, little tiny black books. I can't find it, but I have a little black book that's pretty small, pocket size. Maybe get a book specific for each entity also. Um, I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Um,
I got a style that I do, and like I kind of incorporate it. And I'll read off some written mantras. I do like to make my own. And I'm happy you say you like to write your own rituals and shit too, because that probably incorporates poetry and writing your own mantras, right?
not so much poetry because I'm not like I'm not like William Shakespeare when it comes to poetry. But I definitely write my own. what I've written my own stuff into my book of shadows, or my magical journals, as I call them. And you mentioned that you prefer to do your own stuff. I'd say that performing your own rituals and stuff, it makes it more potent, or there's more intent, rather than copying it from a book or copying a written, as you say, chirography of sorts. Just gives it more intent and more potency, because it's something that you've created from your own understanding.
Yeah, man, because, people say it's really powerful when you craft and you channel your own sigils or your own mantras and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And creating your whole entire ritual, you're doing all of it, you know what I'm saying? And it's all you, almost like a projection of your subconscious and your ritual. I don't know. It's wild. And I love that everybody incorporates their own thing into it, One of the dudes in the group, he's a tech guy, computer guy. And so during his rituals, he incorporates technology in his computers. And I think that's awesome, because he's making it his own, because that's his style,
Yeah.
He's not the type to, I guess, sit down, do traditional magic or whatever. I mean, he might be, but, he makes it his own. That way he can connect with it. Because if you're not connecting with it, there ain't much there, So I think it's cool when people incorporate their own little unique things into it. I incorporated my playing cards into it. I like to collect playing cards. Bicycle, Theory 11, Illusionist, all kinds of different high quality playing cards, like brands and stuff. I have a lot of them. Like bricks on bricks and bricks and bricks and bricks, stacks of playing cards, all high quality. And I incorporate them into my magic, almost like tarot cards or different types of shit. There's one, I got all kinds of them, man. David Blaine ones, man. I got fancy ones, super fancy ones. My most expensive deck is probably like $40. And there's these ones, the Gator backs, because they're freaking shiny and stuff.
That's
and they're
cool.
full of secrets. Yeah, man, I incorporate that in my playing cards, because also each entity on a playing card, I write their sigil and stuff, so I like to, I don't know, incorporate me into it.
Yeah.
And when I'm done with my craftiness, it's usually pretty cool looking. Even a poker chip, But, yeah. Dice. A lot of people say, dude, that's such a great idea. Why haven't I thought of that? A lot of people use dice, but apparently I'm realizing a lot of people don't use dice. I use dice every single day, dude.
That's pretty cool.
Like simple dice from Barnes and Noble that you'd use in games or like Dungeons and Dragons, I'll use them for divination, and you can get all kinds of different colored ones and stuff. And man, if you really work with it, do some sigil magic, enchant it, put intent into it, you'll get some pretty awesome readings with it. Especially if you lay out a map that you can throw the dice down and where they land. You can set it up different ways. You can use them in so many different ways and variations and styles. It's endless, but dice are really cool, man, for a lot of different things. And not just divination, but different things in the occult world you can use dice for. And it's awesome. So let me ask you, what tools do you add or embed into your craft? Like, I know you probably, people mix and match, here and there, but what do you usually keep in each one?
What tools do I use?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have I have made my own wands and stuff at one point, but they were only using wood out the garden.
Mm-hmm.
But so they were actually poisonous.
Dang.
Yeah. And the problem was they sweat. They actually sweat a bit as well when if you don't dry them properly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about I'm sure you probably use candles, maybe
Okay.
chalice, anything like that.
I use pillar candles like you do. I
Mm-hmm.
use like if I can afford to get them from the witchcraft shop I go to, because there's a witchcraft shop in town. I usually get candles and they're about £7 or £8,
Mm-hmm.
or up to about £12. I'll get them.
Wait,
Usually,
for one candle?
pardon?
For one candle?
Yeah,
A pillar candle?
yeah.
That's a lot, ain't it? Over there?
Not really. Depends on the
They're like
size of the candle,
it's
though.
like $4 or $5 US here.
Okay.
Isn't that a lot over there? Dang. It could be a better quality wax too and shit. And
Yeah, yeah.
I know one practitioner, he only uses beeswax. I don't know why, maybe because it's organic, but he swears by it.
Well, apparently beeswax is a better sort of candle anyway.
Hmm. They're
But if you
expensive.
can get if you can get beeswax, it's probably the best sort of candle to get.
Hmm.
But I just get cheap, nasty, freaking candles that I like.
Same here. Same
Yeah.
here. And I understand maybe if you put the intent behind, oh, well, this is more expensive, so there's more intent behind it. I guess it could work, but, cheap stuff
I
works.
just I I personally just see candles as a light source, so it doesn't really
Mhm.
matter what sort of candle you get.
Mhm.
Because
I,
at the
I
end of the
agree.
day, it's just a light source. I mean, obviously, if a candle's black, it appeals to Satan. If it's red, it appeals to whatever. But at the end of the day, it's a bloody candle.
Mhm. Mhm. You know, I was part of this one witchy group, and there's a lot of them on Facebook that are like this. And man, I had to leave or I got kicked out, one or the other. But this lady, we were kind of friends, and then she started like trying to sell things to people and sell money spells and all this other stuff. And one person commented and said, "Oh, cool, can you give me the spell?" She said, "No, because it's an ancient family secret that's been in my family for generations. But for $30, you can have it." I'm just like, what? I was like, what is the spell for you? The money spell for you? Like, that's what you're doing. Like, that's not cool. But she was also telling people that if you don't use specific candle colors, specific words, specific materials, specific tools, it will not work or it'll come back and harm you. Me and her went at it, man, and a couple other people too, because that's not cool. That's misinformation, that's lies, because you don't need specific colors, specific candles. It's all focus, tools or focal points. It might help you remember something, or think about something, or associate something with something, but, true practitioner needs his mind. That's it, and his
Yeah,
words. But yeah, man. I don't like it when people say that. Oh, if you don't do it this very specific way, it won't work. Because to me, that's spreading false information, right?
yeah.
And
Me and her wouldn't have
cult
got on
will do
either.
the opposite in a way. Organized misinformation in a way for protective purposes. That's what occult fraternities do anyway. They're not lying directly to people's faces. They misinform to deter any negative prosecution, based on because who's involved. You know, I'm okay with that in a way, but not like lying for mischievous or evil purposes, or but to maybe deter somebody away from thinking, whatever. I don't know, but a lot of people don't like hidden groups or covens or secret groups because they think a cult, one, or some craziness, or that there's an evil agenda behind it, like Illuminati, world domination, or you know, crazy stuff, you know. But man,
Yeah.
for real, you know how many people was messaged freaking not just me, but other people in other groups from like Africa and random places wanting to join the Illuminati, and you know, thinking people are affiliated with it, and like, I mean, it's funny though. There's so many pages out there that are like that though.
I've had about 4 invitations to join the Illuminati. I've had people wanting to join Satanism. Oh God, it's fucking. Oh God. Yeah.
But yeah, man, and like one thing also I don't like about our logo is the eye. Before it was like the Eye of Providence, so it was like total Illuminati vibes, and so I didn't like it. We had to change it, and so now I think it's the Eye of Horus or Eye of Ra or something like that, and but even that feels a little too Illuminati because it's in the pyramid, and
Yeah.
just because of that association, I don't really like that because I don't want people to think we're trying to imitate or be like the Illuminati, you know. Might have to change it to something else. I don't know. What I really wanted in the original logo idea, I wanted the four founding fathers, the four founding members. I wanted something to, something that, resembled them to be in the logo. A symbol or image of something, kind of subliminal hint of like these were the people that helped create this group type stuff. But we'll probably come up with something cool in the future. I probably won't say what it is right now. And the only reason we changed it because it used to be an earth. Now it's like the flower of life. So it's like a yin yang um, under the chalice in our logo. But it was an earth. And the only reason we changed the earth is because like not everybody is down with the earth. You know, I've realized not everybody agrees that it's round for one. You got the flat earth thing. I kind of was hinting into that too, then ask you how you feel about that. Do you believe in a flat earth? Do you believe in a globe? Or do you believe it's all a collective judgment and what the majority of people believe that's what it is? Because it changes. I've heard a bunch.
I don't believe in the flat Earth theory or hollow Earth theory. Um, Although I have read The Coming Race by Edward Bulwer-Lytton, in which there's supposedly a subterranean race of like basically aliens living in the Earth's surface, but I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say. I've talked to some people and they believe that it's all dependent on what the vast majority of humans believe. So, like, if you have a good group, the vast majority of humans believe it's round, the Earth will be legit round. If it begins to change where a vast majority believes it's flat, it'll become flat because power of the mind type stuff, and like the dreamscape that we're living in, it's all determined on like, I also ask the question a lot, like, do we have a certain amount of confined energy that's always being transformed and renewed over and over and over again? Or is the universe expanding out more and more energy is being created? What do you think on that?
Never really thought about it. I think I know the Earth rotates and all that stuff, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, in the way of expanding and interacting. I'm not really sure
Mm-hmm.
what I think of that. I mean, it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's understandable because like that just goes into the topic of like the void and infinity and foreverness. Uh, and that's like a paradox in itself, you know. You get to a point where you can get so deep in something, you're getting so close to the truth, and then boom, you realize it keeps going. Then it keeps going. You get right to the edge where all of space and all knowledge stops. Once you get there, more space is generated, you know?
Yeah.
And so like you
Yeah.
can get close and close and close and close and close, but you will never ever be able to retain the knowledge and the information you would need to know what you want to know. It's wild. I think, anyway, you know, of course, personal opinions and beliefs, stuff like that, you know, but I don't know how it is. Either the universe is stationary and nothing is actually expanding, or everything is expanding. See, I believe like we are fractured off pieces of God in this consciousness, experiencing life through countless perspectives and, you know, through countless lives. And like because, you know, I had a DMT experience one time where I was blasted off through a vortex that turned into like a wooden tree, and I was inside of a tree flying through this thing. And then I had thorns come at me and start shredding me to pieces. And it shredded every layer of my skin and my body, everything it meant to be human, every layer of my humanity away. It shredded it until it got to the last layer, and it shredded it away. And I was formless. I had no memory of who I was individually as a person. I just knew I was formless. I was pure thought, pure awareness. My mind was so expansive, like it was nothing but thought and awareness, pure, just there. And I realized that holy shit, I am God. I am the only living entity in all of existence. And then so I began to do everything, and I created and destroyed and did everything, and I did it twice, and then I was bored. And then my consciousness was pretty much splintered down into countless vessels, countless species, countless just husks, if you will, and all of them with slight different personalities and variations because of the three-dimensional filters and shit put into them, you know. But take away all those layers and you are one pure awareness. And it really blew my mind in this experience, dude. And I realized that, holy shit, if that's the case, God must be lonely, or the grand architect of all must be really lonely to be the only existing thing in all of existence. And so to not be lonely, he splintered himself off into countless things, gave himself the fear of the unknown, gave himself the fear of dying. And, you know, in a way it's crazy because, you know, when people have near-death experiences, it's not like they're experiencing their life flash before their eyes and like their perspective. It's like they're viewing their life from other people's perspective. Like if you was mean to me one day, you would see how it felt from my perspective, that type of stuff. You know, it kind of shows you what you've done in your life, where you went wrong, kind of stuff like that. But, and it kind of shows also that when you're mean to somebody else, you're kind of being mean to yourself, because I am you and you are me. Our consciousness is the same ultimately. And the only reason we are individually ourselves, I think, is because of our three-dimensional filters, how we were raised, and just stuff stored in our brain and stuff like that. But I don't think consciousness is from the brain itself. I think it's just a receiver of it. I think consciousness is everywhere, and you know, the brain just helps like tune and like acts like a filter.
Right.
Um, Sorry, I'm kind of rambling and going off, but the experience blew my mind. You know, if that's the case, wow. And I don't want to live over and over and over and die over and over and over and live everybody's life simultaneously. Because, like, in a way, I am you and you are me, experiencing life through different perspectives, different vessels, but with the same awareness, same consciousness. That's wild to me to think about. And it kind of blew my freaking mind. And I don't know if it's true or not, but to me it felt real, you know. And I'm still searching. Open-minded individual. I look at all possibilities. I like to think. I like to go over topics. And when I'm talking about something, I'm not a debative type person. I'm not like debating with you to try to say like you're wrong or I'm right or anything like that. I just throw out information and see what conversation comes up, you know. But sorry. But yeah, the experience blew my mind, and if that's the case, you know, I guess the whole point of life would go through these trials until eventually you figure it out, or figure out the grand mystery or whatever, and you break the cycle, and then you can somehow separate, or I don't know. But I've talked to some people who believe all of what I just said, but they believe that souls are individual in their own beings completely. But in a way, it's still fractured off, fractal of that original thing. Because if you're looking at like a tree, like as above, so below, both sides, they're fueled from the same source. They gotta be, right? You would think. Or do you think there's two entities in all existence, good and evil, or good in the absence of good? And, you know, you have to have one without the other, you know? You'll never know what pain is if all you've ever experienced was joy and pleasure, you know? I don't know. I'm just talking now. Oh, well, you know what? Actually, well, heck, man. Is there anything you want to add or throw into the topics? We can close it up here in a little bit if you want. And I got a couple things I'm gonna have to do today and get done. Get out of this freaking bed, sitting here. But I've been enjoying this for real. And if you do want to come back on and us do some like HP Lovecraft chatting or whatever, I am so down. And we can actually go ahead and schedule it for whenever or whatever. I'm down.
A chat on HP Lovecraft would be wicked.
hmm Yeah, and I'll definitely do. I'll touch up, you know, myself and do some research and maybe look up some topics to throw up too in conversation. You know, and like I always usually have my laptop beside me, so if we ever need to look up anything, I can do it while we're chatting.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, man, this could be a cool thing. After this is done, I'll download it, repurpose it, and then I can send you this video if you want to have a copy of it yourself. And is it cool if it goes on YouTube?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Heck yeah. Yeah. I like it to be live. See, I understand some people want it to be in the private chats, but this way, and some things can. We can still do the private chats. This way, when we start talking about some really cool stuff, we can save it and go back and look on it or show other people to help explain to other people what we're talking about too, you know? And so other people can see it. But it's also cool when it's live because people can interact while we're filming it. But we can still put it other places like YouTube or Twitch or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's better to be live as well because then people can watch it and
Yeah,
whether, yeah.
yeah. Heck yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you think that's gonna be in the next topic for sure, HP Lovecraft?
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good, man. I am excited already for it. Is there anything else you want to add on to it, or you know, go ahead and close it out, start planning for the next?
I think we're all good.
All right. All right, man. Well, thank you for coming on and telling me about it, you know.
It's good to speak to you.
Yeah, same. We'll do this more often for sure.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah.